Have you ever felt sorry for yourself? Like you were getting the short end of the stick and life was unfair? And if everybody in your life would just do what they are supposed to do, then you would be okay? Have you ever felt like that? If you've ever felt like that, please say yes.
Yes.
Excellent. You're in good company. We're all in good company. Let me ask you another question. Have you ever felt fully engaged in your life? Creatively inspired, on a roll, in the flow, like you can do no wrong, excited to get up in the morning? Have you ever felt like that? If you felt like that, please say yes.
Yes.
That is personal empowerment, and that is what I am passionate about wanting us all to experience more of in our lives. Why? Because the benefits are happiness, well-being, life satisfaction, productivity, and joy, just to name a few of them. And I want that for you. I want that for all of us. In 2016, my husband had 5 major back operations, just this past year. And last February, after the second one, it was our 4th day in the hospital, and it was early in the morning, and I was feeling particularly agitated and uncomfortable in my skin. I was emotionally exhausted, physically worn out, and hungry. And I don't know about you guys, but when I get hungry, life is just a little more difficult. But I couldn't go get something to eat because I was waiting for the doctor to come. And he only came once a day, and I had lots of questions for him, and if I missed him, I wouldn't see him again until the following morning. Plus, it was the changing of the guards for the nurses, and I wanted to be there when the new nurse came in, to let her know that I was my husband's advocate, and that she would have to deal with me, for one thing, and also to let her know how the night had gone, what medications were working, what weren't, what our obstacles and challenges of the day were going to be, and all that information. But the doctor wasn't coming, and the nurse wasn't coming, and the time was ticking away, and I was getting hungrier and more agitated and uncomfortable in my skin, to the point that I really felt kind of angry. And my husband was sleeping peacefully through this whole thing. When we were in that victim mode that I was talking about earlier, where we feel sorry for ourselves, what's happened is that we've inadvertently given our power away. And we've given it away, ironically, to the very people and situations that we're blaming for our problems. And that's exactly what happened to me in the hospital. I found that I had given away my personal power. I had given it to the doctor and the nurse because I was making my okayness dependent upon their behavior. And as soon as I realized that, first of all, I had to chuckle at myself, because the truth is that this is what I'm all about. And then I took a deep breath and I made a decision, and that's also often where personal empowerment begins. And what I decided was that I was willing to wait for another half an hour, and then I was going to go get breakfast. If the doctor and the nurse came in that half hour, that would be great. But if they didn't, I was going to go get breakfast anyway, because going to get breakfast was something that I had the ability to control. And as soon as I made that decision, I felt immediately better. So the point is that we all have the power within us to change anything and everything in our lives that isn't working, in a temporary way, like I did in the hospital, or in a more lasting way over time. We can change our thoughts, our beliefs, and our behaviors using the 3 simple action steps of stop, start, and sustain. We can apply stop, start, and sustain in the most general and overarching way by stopping blaming other people and life circumstances for our problems, stepping up and taking ownership of the things that we can actually control, and then sustaining the not blaming, taking ownership behavior until such a point as it becomes automatic and involuntary, in other words, a habit. And by that point, our lives have become seriously more empowered. No, I'm not done yet. She wants to clap. But thank you for that. We can also apply stop, start, and sustain in a more specific and focused way to our daily habits as they apply to things like food, love, money, and time. If you're intrigued by this idea, go to my website, where I have a host of resources that can start you along this path and sustain you as you travel the road. Why should you care or bother about personal empowerment? Because it makes for good living and a good life. Because it makes your dreams possible. And because you're worth it. Thank you.